G'day, this is Ryan from Airborne, and you're rocking out to the Australian Rock Show.
Hey there, folks. This is Jeff Ho from The Rich and Famous, and you're listening to the Australian Rock Show. Get down and dirty.
This is Christina Crofts, and you're listening to the Australian Rock Show.
Hi, this is Crispin Archie, and you're listening to the Australian Rock Show.
Hey, this is Bruce Kulick. You remember me, Kiss guitarist. This is the Australian Rock Show, and they rock.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the Australian Rock Show. My name's Dan Baird, and hopefully Colin and Dennis are going to do you something right and righteous.
Hello, this is the dulcet tones of Mick Blood from the Lima Spiders, and you're listening to the Australian Rock Show.
Hi, this is Dave Tice from Buffalo Revisited. You're listening to the Australian Rock Show with the Rockin' Grey Brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, rock hard.
This is Stewie from Leadfinger. You're listening to the Australian Rock Show. Go for it.
Hey folks, it's Dennis Gray, and it is show number 87 of the Australian Rock Show. As always, thanks for taking time out to listen in. However you listen in, it is very much appreciated. Got a whole bunch of cool new Australian music to get through on this show. So let's rip straight into it with something off the new mini album from Hitmen DTK titled Six Pistols. Here they are with the iconic Shake Some Action. Hitmen DTK there with a reworked version of the Flamin' Groovies classic Shake Some Action. If you're a Hitmen fan, you'd no doubt know that a live version of Shake Some Action is on their 1984 live record, Tora Tora DTK, and it's very cool that they've recently been in the studio and have stamped their mark all over that iconic song. Hitmen DTK, as I mentioned, have a new mini album out now called Six Pistols, where they run through and pay homage to six bands that have had an influence on their 40-year career. I cannot wait to hear some of the other tracks on that release. They cover the Ramones. They also do a blazing take of the Dictators, Who Will Save Rock and Roll, which I personally think is one of the best ever songs which Andy Chernoff has written. You can find more details at hitmendtk.com. Release date is the 9th of March, which is also the date of the launch for the mini album, and that is on at the Basement in Sydney. Supports are Yana Nicholas and the Black Heart Breakers, so be sure to get there early to check them out as well. Okay, what's next? Got sent the newie from the upcoming Cosmic Psychos album titled Loudmouth Soup, which has a release date of the 6th of April. To coincide with the album, they're doing a massive run of shows around the country between March and June. We'll go through some of those dates later in the show, but for now, here are the mighty Cosmic Psychos with the song Feeling Average. Cosmic Psychos there, Feeling Average, dig that. Lifted from their upcoming album titled Loudmouth Soup, which is by my reckoning album number 11. Cannot wait to hear the rest of that record. CosmicPsychos.com.au. That's where you need to head to for all the details. Okay, before we play another song, I just want to make mention of a couple of important things for everyone to be aware of. Firstly, my brother and I recently started producing a vlog. Is that what they're called? I'm not really a fan of that word, but it's basically a sister project which we've started to complement this audio podcast. So it's basically the two of us sitting on a sofa talking about rock and roll. It's not as structured, and I guess it's a little more looser than the audio episodes. It also gives us a chance to have a bit of fun, to show off some of our rock and roll merch. There's a gig guide in there too. I reckon you'll all dig it. Please head to youtube.com/Australian Rock Show and subscribe. You can leave us a comment on there if you wish. So far, the response from the debut show has been pretty positive. People seem to be digging it, and we're all ready to sit down and do show number 2. So again, subscribing is the greatest way to help us out with the YouTube channel. So if you could do that, we'd be eternally grateful. Okay, another thing I want to mention is that we are an entrant in the 2018 Australian Podcast Awards. We've never entered any award competitions before. To be honest, I'm kind of skeptical about this sort of thing. But if you dig what we do and wish to check it out and vote, AustralianPodcastAwards.com. Check it out. Winners will be revealed on the night of the 5th of May 2018. I think you have to register once you head to AustralianPodcastAwards.com and you'll find us there and give us a vote. Cool. Rightio, let's talk more rock. Let's hear something from one of my favourite local outfits called The Mismade. Have seen The Mismade a couple of times, including an L7 support in Sydney back in October of 2016. where they were just amazing. I think they won over a lot of new fans on that particular evening too. A great band doing great things. I know that they did a run of dates in Europe last year and have some big things lined up for 2018, which also includes another European visit. We'll get to that after a song. Here are the Mismade with Good Intentions. Catchy as all hell from out of Sydney. That's the Mismade, Good Intentions. Love, love, love that. I think they formed around 6 years back now. Jess Finlayson, who'd done time in bands like Nitocris and the Fireflies, amongst others. I saw those two bands a bunch of times. Anyway, she formed the Mismade back in 2012, and I've got to tell you, folks, some of the stuff which this band have been churning out recently is damn impressive, as you can hear from a track like Good Intentions, which we just played. You can find that track on their debut album from last year titled Changeling. Heard from Jess during the week, who tells me that the video clip for Good Intentions will be out in late March or early April, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Before they head to Europe, we're going to get Jess on the show for an interview, because I reckon more people out there need to know about the Mismade and indeed some of the great rock and roll which Jess has churned out over the years. Should we play another Mismade tune? Why the hell not? Here's another wonderful track, which is also lifted off their debut album, and it's called Outsider. The Mismade, Outsider, again, super, super catchy, great hook. Tasty guitar solo, love, love, love that. Check their social media pages for local gigs coming up, and if you're listening to our podcast from London, make a note of the 28th of July at the Unicorn in Camden, as the Mismade have that date confirmed. And they're also playing at the Rebellion Festival, which runs from the 2nd to the 5th of August in Blackpool. Find them on Facebook, and you can also visit themismade.com. Love it. Now, I just mentioned the L7 support in Sydney they did back in 2016. Interviewed Donita Sparks back on show number 65, by the way, so make an effort to search that one out if you haven't already heard that. Have you heard the new single from L7? I Came Back to Bitch. I'm liking it. You know what? Let's hear a snippet of that before we move on. Dig that. Love, love, love L7. Okay, next up, I want to plug an outfit who hail from the central coast of New South Wales called the Defiant Few. Got an email alerting me to these guys some time back, in particular a track of theirs which is about 4 or 5 years old now, called As the Hammer Drops. Let's hear a little bit of that, as I really dug it. Okay, that's a little taste of the Defiant Few with a track from some years back now called The Hammer Drops. Now, they sent me a new track this past week, which they've just finished up, called My Confusion. Why don't we hear that now? The Defiant Few there, My Confusion. That's the stuff. I dig that. Very, very solid. Nice chorus, great sound, great guitar work. More, please. The Defiant Few are a Central Coast-based 5-piece who are proudly reinventing the legacy of what bands such as AC/DC, Rose Tattoo and the Angels left behind during the 70s and 80s. Balls to the wall Australian pub rock, states their bio. Great stuff. Facebook.com, The Defiant Few. If you dug that, check them out and go and support a great local band. Okay, folks, why don't we run through some gig dates? There's a whole bunch of great bands out there doing it live, so make a note of some of these and go and support live music. The Aints play the Saints Friday the 9th of March at the Manning Bar in Sydney. The Celibate Rifles Friday the 6th of April at the Marrickville Bolo in New South Wales. Saturday the 7th of April at the Narrabeen RSL. The Stems 12th of April Northcote Social Club in Melbourne plus Even. Saturday the 14th of April at the Marrickville Bowling Club in Sydney plus the New Christs. That'd be a great night. Sunday the 15th of April the Stems are on at the Rosemount Hotel in Perth. Hitmen DTK, as I mentioned previously, Friday the 9th of March at the Basement in Sydney for their mini album launch. And then Hitmen DTK are on Saturday the 7th of April at the Bridge Hotel in Sydney with the mighty Rose Tattoo. Rose Carlio Band also on at the Bridge Hotel in Sydney on Sunday the 18th of March. Love Child Sunday the 8th of April at the Bridge Hotel in Sydney. TMG, Friday the 9th of March at Anita's Theatre in Thirroul in New South Wales. Saturday the 10th of March at Belmont 16 Footers up there in Newcastle. Saturday the 17th of March at the Bridge in Sydney. And TMG have a date locked in for Saturday, the 1st of September at Revesby Workers Club. Screaming Jets, Friday the 3rd and Saturday the 4th of August. 2 nights there at the Bridge Hotel in Sydney. The Mighty Rose Tattoo, Saturday the 31st of March at the SSA Club in Albury. 6th of April, Bridge Hotel in Sydney. 7th of April, Bridge Hotel in Sydney. 13th of April, the Tats are on at the Beach House Hotel at Harvey Bay. Saturday the 14th of April, the Shed at Down Under Drive on the Sunshine Coast. Rose Tattoo, Friday the 20th of April at the Gov in Hindmarsh. 21st of April at the Gateway Hotel in Geelong. Sunday the 22nd of April at the Corner Hotel in Richmond. Friday the 27th of April, go and see the Rosie Tats at Miranda Hotel in Sydney. And 28th of April at the Cambridge Hotel in Newcastle. The Brewster Brothers, Thursday the 8th of March at the Basement in Sydney. Friday the 9th of March at the Bridge in Sydney. Sunday the 11th of March at Lizottes in Newcastle. Choir Boys, 16th of March, Chelsea Heights Hotel in Melbourne. 17th of March, York on Lilydale, Mount Evelyn in Victoria. Friday the 23rd of March, the Juniors at Kingsford in Sydney, and the Choir Boys play Penrith Panthers. Saturday the 24th of March, Kevin Borich Express, Friday the 2nd of March, Girracool Blues Festival at Carryong in New South Wales. Sunday the 3rd of March, Carrington Hotel in Katoomba. Sunday the 4th of March at the Hawkesbury Hotel in Windsor. The New Christs, Saturday the 14th of April at the Marrickville Bolo, plus the Stems. Radio Birdman have dates to be announced for September and October. I saw that on Dennis Tech's website. The Rads, Radiators, Saturday 10th of March, Australian Arms Hotel at Penrith. Friday the 16th of March, Heritage Hotel at Bulli. Saturday the 17th of March, they're on at the Workers Club in Goulburn. Friday the 23rd of March at the Edgeworth Bowling Club at Edgeworth. The Mighty Angels have a whole bunch of dates coming up. Friday the 11th of May, they're on at the Miranda Hotel in Sydney there. 12th of May, Revesby Workers. 25th of May, Racehorse Hotel in Booville in Queensland. 26th of May, the Hamilton Hotel up in Hamilton in Queensland. The Angels, Friday the 8th of June at Juniors in Kingsford in Sydney. Saturday the 9th of June at Belmont 16-footers. Friday the 15th of June, the Angels are on at the Doncaster Shopping Town Hotel in Doncaster in Victoria. Saturday the 16th of June, York on Lilydale, Mount Evelyn in Victoria. Go see the Angels if you live in Ravenswood in Western Australia. Friday the 22nd of June, they're on at the Ravenswood Hotel. Still in WA, Saturday the 23rd of June, Charles Hotel, North Perth. Friday the 29th of June, Edelong Diggers Club at Edelong Beach. Saturday the 30th of June, Rudy Hill RSL in Sydney. Friday the 6th of July, Parkwood Tavern, Parkwood in Queensland. Saturday the 7th of July, Villa Noosa Hotel, Noosaville in Queensland. Wednesday the 11th of July, Birdsville in Queensland. The Angels play the Gateway Hotel in Corio in Victoria, Friday the 3rd of July. The Angels play Chelsea Heights Hotel, Chelsea Heights in Melbourne there, Saturday the 14th of July. Plenty of Angels gigs. Baby Animals, Saturday the 3rd of March at the Gateway Lakes in Wodonga. Cosmic Psychos, a whole bunch of these. I'm not going to read them all out. The tour kicks off at Mornington at the Grand Live on Thursday the 29th of March. Geelong, San Remo, Castlemaine, Wednesday the 4th of March, they're on at the Basement in Canberra. Unibar in Wollongong, Friday 5th of March. Friday the 6th of March, Baldface Stag in Sydney. Long Jetty Hotel, Cambridge in Newcastle. Prince of Wales in Bunbury, Thursday the 12th of April. Friday the 13th of April, Cosmic Psychos are on at the Rosemount in Perth. She said this is a big tour. Fremantle, Ballarat, Adelaide, Launceston, some Tasmanian dates. Friday the 27th of April, Club 54 in Launceston. And Saturday the 28th of April, they're on at the Brisbane in Hobart. What else we got? Sunday the 6th of May, Cosmic Psychos are on at Cherry Rock in Melbourne. Ipswich, they're on at the Trifford in Brisbane. Noosa, Gold Coast, Croxton in Melbourne. Cairns, Townsville, Mackay. And last date listed here is the Saturday the 9th of June at the Rails in Darwin. Stars, the great stars, Mick Peeling, Mal Eastick have some gigs coming up. April 13th at the Thornbury Theatre in Melbourne. April 20th, Stars are on at the Basement in Sydney. April 21st at Wollongong, Centro CBD. And April 22nd, Stars are on at Lizottes in Newcastle. Lucy DeSoto and the Handsome Devils play the Bridge Hotel in Sydney, Thursday the 29th of March. Dave Tice Trio, Saturday the 3rd of March at the Street Market, which is at 116 Willoughby Road in Crow's Nest in Sydney there. Black Heart Breakers, Friday 27th of April at the Stag and Hunter at Mayfield in Newcastle. As I mentioned, they have the Hitmen DTK support at the Basement coming up. Mitch Granger, the great Mitch Granger, big fans of that guy. Thursday 1st of March at the Oxley in Cowra. Friday the 23rd of March at the Harmony German Club in Canberra. Blood, Sweat and Beers, of course, that's the outfit which features guys like Mark Evans. It's got Jim Hilburn from the Angels, of course, Angry and Di Pritchard from the Tats, Grant Walmsley from the Screaming Jets, and I think Greg Aldridge on drums. They got some dates coming up. Friday the 9th of March, they're on at West's in Newcastle. Saturday the 10th of March at the Bald Face Stag in Leichhardt in Sydney there. And I see they've listed a date, Friday the 13th of July at the Basement in Canberra. Folks, many great bands out there doing it live. Why not make note of one of those dates and go and support live Australian music? Please note that the information given in this gig guide was obtained from online sources, and information may change at any time. You are advised to check with bands, venues and promoters where appropriate to verify any information given. Rightio, one band I mentioned in there is the very classy Sydney outfit known as Love Child. Love Child play the Bridge Hotel on Sunday the 8th of April. My brother and I are big fans of these guys, and for the life of me, I cannot understand why they have not busted the scene wide open on a larger scale. I'll talk about Love Child straight after a song. Let's hear something from their second album, A Whole Lot of Sassy, and we'll cue up the song titled Stay. That's the track Stay by Sydney outfit Love Child. CLASSY, classy. Produced by Sammy Canis, who of course has just done the recent stuff by Hitmen DTK. Why aren't I hearing that on commercial radio? You know, in their bio there is an endorsement there from well-respected British producer Stuart Epps, which really says it all. He says, great band, would love to produce this band. Have a distinct sound, but with a Bad Company flavour. Fantastic. His comments are very accurate, I think. It is a distinctive sound, but as I mentioned, very, very classy. With broad appeal, I might add. Stuart Epps, by the way, has done stuff from memory with Bad Company, Oasis, Paul Weller, Led Zeppelin and Bill Wyman, to name but a few. Love Child, we love them. They're a great live Australian band and yet another Australian act who more people need to know about. Again, Sunday the 8th of April at the Bridge Hotel in Sydney, facebook.com/lovechildband or lovechildband.com.au. Go for it. Now, another artist we are really, really big fans of is Christina Crofts. This lady churns out a unique brand of dirty, guitar-driven, blues-based rock and roll, and it is someone who we always like to keep tabs on. Back on show number 18, we interviewed Christina. Go back and listen to that if you haven't already done so. Last year, Christina released an EP called Like We Used To. The first track on that is Dynamite. It's called Breakaway, and here it is now. Breakaway there by Christina Crofts. How great does that sound? Lucinda Williams meets Rory Gallagher down under, reckons Ron from the online magazine Roots Time. Christina told me that the chord progression was based on an idea of Steve Crofts, Christina's husband, who sadly left us a couple of years back now. It's great to know Steve's musical ideas are living on via Christina's music, I think. The EP is called Like We Used To. It's available online. Head to christinacrofts.com for more info, and you can, of course, follow Christina at facebook.com/christina.crofts. Christina has a few gigs coming up which you need to be aware of. She's playing the Grand Hotel in Kiama, Saturday, March the 3rd. Christina Crofts played the Currarong Bowling Club down in Shoalhaven, Saturday, March 17th. Kent Hotel at Hamilton, Sunday, March 25th. Fairy Meadow Bowling Club, Saturday, April the 7th. Christina Crofts' band plays Coast Hotel at Budgewoi on Sunday, April the 8th. She's also playing the Blues on Broadbeach Festival on the Gold Coast, which runs from 17th to the 20th of May. It says free event on their website, so if that's the case, folks, no excuses for not getting along to that great festival. This gig is some time away, but Christina Crofts is listed on Saturday the 4th of August at the Harmony German Club in Canberra as part of International Blues Day. Rightio, whilst on the subject of amazing guitar players, caught up with Gwyn Ashton recently on one of his Australian dates. Just amazing. To be honest, and I'm not sure Gwyn will agree with me, but it was one of the best nights ever of live music which I've witnessed. Now, I'm not sure who is to blame here. I know that the venue, which I'm not going to name, did absolutely zero promotion for that gig, and consequently it was quite poorly attended, which for an artist of Gwyn's calibre really is unacceptable. For me though, to sit down at a table with a couple of beers for a couple of hours right at the feet of one of the world's best guitar players, I felt that mojo working on me, and folks, it does not get any better than that. Lifted off the album he did a couple of years back now with Chris Finnan and Peter Bulka. That is, of course, the great Gwyn Ashton with I Can Feel That Mojo Working on Me. As you may have gathered by now, Gwyn Ashton is a big favourite of ours and really is the best of the best. gwynashton.com. He has gigs coming up in March, April and May in the UK, Spain and the Czech Republic. Go see him live. Folks, it is time we got out of here. AustralianRockShow@gmail.com. That is how you can reach us. As I mentioned earlier on this show, we are doing some shows now in front of the camera via YouTube. Please subscribe. That's the best way you can help out with that. Give us your feedback as well. Bands we should know about, etc., etc. You can find us on Facebook, like us, share us, all that shtick. AustralianRockShow.com is our online home. All the past episodes are there for you to download or stream. FREE. We are also on Twitter if you wish to connect with us that way. If you want to hear us, you can do so by subscribing via iTunes. You can hear us on Stitcher, TuneIn, and also Mixcloud. AustralianRockShow.com is the best place to learn more about us and indeed Australia's loudest and proudest rock and roll podcast. Got some t-shirts in recently too, so click on the link via our homepage. They're $20 plus postage. Nab one before they are all gone. Don't forget to check us out at AustralianPodcastAwards.com. If you've been with us since we started and you like what we do, head there, give us a vote, and who knows, maybe we'll take home a trophy. Thank you once again for listening in, folks. We'll see you on the next show, which is not going to be too far away. Have some interviews lined up over the next few shows, which I'm sure you are all going to enjoy. I've actually gone back to the original list, which we wrote down 4 or 5 years back now. Folks we wanted to get on the show. It's a list I keep referring to and pretty much the blueprint for this podcast. We've crossed off quite a few, but there's still so many folks to get on the phone, which we are endeavouring to do. So please stay with us. Now, one guy we're going to get on the show in the not too distant future is the great Mick Medew. Fresh from supporting the Sunny Boys, along with a gig in Sydney at Marrickville, Mick has an amazing story going back to his Brisbane days with the 31st, of course, fronting the Screaming Tribemen and so much more. Sounds like a pretty good reason to hear something from Mick Medew. Why the hell not? Thanks again for tuning in, folks, and you all know the drill by now. If you're listening in whilst driving or in the office, train, your apartment, wherever, turn the volume up and get that window down so you can educate others. Lifted from the Mesmerizers album cut back in 2013. Let's hear Mick Medew with the track Dream on the Slide. This is Dennis. Out.